Oops. Mr. Arthur H. Kinnard Jr., uh, acting president of Utica Junior College. We're very happy that you agreed to participate in our oral history project at Jackson State College.
My pleasure.
Yes. As you understand, this first project is dealing specifically with Piney Woods, and we're trying to determine the influence or significance Piney Woods has had for black educational development in Mississippi. I also understand that Utica has been very significant, but we'll talk about that on a later interview. Today we want to talk specifically about Piney Woods School. Could you describe for us the circumstances under which you first heard about Piney Woods?
Yes, thank you. As I recall, before I came to Mississippi some 17 years ago, I had heard about Piney Woods School, and it perhaps was during the time that there was a program called This Is Your Life, and I believe this was a program that Ralph Edwards had on that it got nationwide coverage, and perhaps it was at this time that I heard about Piney Woods. I know that when I came to Mississippi and then began to hear more about Piney Woods, that I could recollect having heard the name Piney Woods, and I did associate it with the school.
Well, that's interesting to know that, Piney Woods did get a lot of publicity as well as money from that This Is Your Life program. Have you ever had any type of association with Piney Woods?
Oh, yes. Earlier, when I came to Mississippi, we did on occasion play football with Piney Woods when we had a football team, because you understand that when I first came to Utica in 1956, we did not have a football team. In fact, I was working with the high school. But during some of the years when I was working with the high school, we did develop a college team here on the campus, and I believe for 2, 3, or 4 years, Utica Junior College did play Piney Woods football, and that must have been somewhere after 1957 on to maybe 62.
Wow, that's interesting. You perhaps have not been associated with Piney Woods in any administrative type of work.
No, I have not worked at Piney Woods. However, during some of the years I've worked here at Utica, we have had the 8th Educational District meeting there, and I have been a member of that organization by virtue of the fact that I was a member of the Hinds County Teachers Association and also the Mississippi Teachers Association.
So it's just been that type of association with Piney Woods. Now, what about the reputation of Piney Woods? What have you heard about its reputation today as compared to some earlier days?
Well, I have heard about Piney Woods, as I stated, and of course Piney Woods has always had this group to sing on radio every, I believe, Sunday morning. And of course, what I've heard about Piney Woods has always been good. The news media has always indicated Piney Woods is a good school, and Dr. Jones has been commended over the years for having a good school, a boarding school. And I remember one thing specific about it, that everyone goes to Piney Woods must work, and I think that's good.
That work is good for, I guess, the mind and the soul and the body and all those types of things. Have you ever heard any negative comments about Piney Woods in any sort of way? It seems like everybody tells all the good things. There can't be anything that's all good. Can there, maybe?
Well, I have not really heard anybody speak ill of Piney Woods myself at all. I can recall the incident that happened this year. Our band and choir went to Piney Woods, and some of the students were from our school were wondering why they had certain times for students to do certain activities, and one of the things was the use of the restroom facilities. And of course, I think it was brought home very vividly that when areas are unsupervised, children or students have a tendency, in many instances, not to take care of certain facilities, and this happened to be the use of restroom facilities. But I saw no reason why they should change their manner of handling this kind of thing when it was working for them.
I understand that in the earlier days, there is a story going around that Dr. Jones taught at Utica. Have you heard anything to that effect?
Well, you hear these things, and since I've been here working at Utica, I have heard people indicate that Dr. Jones did work here. In fact, Mrs. Frankie Stiles, who is a retired teacher here in Hinds County, indicated to me, by the way, we attend the same church here in Utica, and I've had a long association with her prior to her retiring as a school teacher here in Hinds County. She worked at Piney Woods some 5 years. I don't know just the time span when she worked there, but she did indicate to me that she knew of Dr. Jones being here on this campus in capacity. I believe it was an administrative capacity. It had something to do with the business office, and I understand that he did move on from here and founded the school at Piney Woods.
I think that maybe Utica had a very positive effect on Dr. Jones in that I understand Utica tried to do some of the same types of things that Piney Woods has been carrying on to this day.
Yes, well, just to comment on that, perhaps Dr. Jones, some of the things that he is doing at Piney Woods and has done, perhaps initially they were either done here or his mind was crystallized on those things once he moved on from Utica to Piney Woods, because we do a lot of things here at Utica that Piney Woods is doing, and that is we have a lot of programs here that might be considered vocationalized programs where people may work at them, say, with the hands, and also we have the college parallel programs here too. But a number of programs that we are doing here now also done at Piney Woods, and I would imagine that in Dr. Jones' association with Utica, he perhaps did take some ideas that he had in his mind here to Piney Woods, and I'm sure he instituted those, and from indications are the school is thriving and moving forward.
Have you heard anything about the traditions of Piney Woods School? Do you know anything about Piney Woods traditions, like they sing the spirituals and we have all these little quotations around the camp?
Yes, well, I was on the campus back in February, and this really stick out in my mind this time because I visited campus before, but I think I spent a little more time this last time on campus, and I did notice all the quotations that he has around. They are inspirational types of quotations which would inspire people to lofty aims. And now you speak of the singers, Piney Woods singers, because I like singing myself, and on occasion I try to sing. So certainly I think inspiration to sing as Piney Woods does it is it's good, it's uplifting, and it's a tradition that Piney Woods is carrying on that several other similar schools like say Utica Junior College, Hampton Institute, and other schools that have the singing groups do. In fact, at one time, from the literature I've read here at Utica Junior College, there was a group called the Utica Jubilee Singers who toured throughout the United States and even overseas in an attempt to raise money and also to inspire people. And I think this is a good thing that Piney Woods has had a singing group, and their singing group is very famous and I think done a good job. And I think that is a good tradition. And of course, this idea I think I mentioned earlier that every student that attends Piney Woods must work. I think work is honorable, and I think that it really helps to mold a person's personality and behavior pattern, and sort of gives them a sense of values. So along those lines, I think these are good traditions that Piney Woods has, and I think that it is a popular belief going around, and I think there's some credence to it that students who attend Piney Woods are some of the better students. And I think it's a fact. It has to be a fact because you yourself, I believe, is a Piney Woods student, and because you've gone on to do great things and to receive the terminal degree, and that is a mark that people who attend Piney Woods tend to excel.
Well, I thank you for all those comments about Piney Woods School and its products. And I think that it has been very true that a number of people are really inspired to go on from Piney Woods. Do you think that there's any real value in an institution trying to preserve what it was at an earlier day?
Yes, I think the things that are worthwhile preserving, and I think most any institution does have those things that all of us consider worthwhile preserving, and along those lines, I would say yes, it's good. So what we usually do, we are in a state of flux, so to speak, of evaluating everything that we do at all times. And I can think of some things, especially that we do here at Utica Junior College, or we have done some things that we have changed, others we have expanded on, and perhaps some that we have dropped. But I think eventually, as time move on, you tend to pick out those things that are better and are lasting, and that you hold on to those things, and the other things that you feel might not be worthwhile, that you tend to drop them. And I do think that tradition does help, and that if we build on tradition, that we can certainly improve our lot and those that are around us. And this is what I think Utica and what Piney Woods is trying to do even today.
I heard Dr. Jones say at the recent commencement exercise that he was very satisfied with what he had accomplished. And he thought Piney Woods was a very unique type of situation, and he wanted to preserve it and just let the outside world do what it wants to do.
Well, I'm not that familiar with Dr. Jones' philosophy, but I would say this, that and I don't like to refute anybody's philosophy of life, but I think in terms of this, that of holding on to the things that we think that are dear, but then adding. And because I don't ever want to get to the point where I want to just completely close out the world. I'd like to have the views of other people, and that sometimes help us to make up our minds on which way we are going. Because Dr. Jones, I feel, is a great man and has done a great job at Piney Woods. And of course, he hasn't just shut out the world. He's been in touch with us and a lot of other people, and I think he has learned from what the world is doing. And of course, we can't ever think in terms of living in a vacuum, because things are changing, and the way we do things are changing regardless. And I don't ever think any of us could live in a vacuum, but I think Dr. Jones meant that there are certain things that people are doing that perhaps we all would be better off if we would not just take those things without challenging them to find out whether or not they would be applicable in our situation. And of course, from that standpoint, I think Dr. Jones means that he's just not going to accept an idea just because someone mentions it, but I really feel seriously that all of us should look at different ways of doing things, and certainly if we feel that someone else has a better idea, that we latch on to it.
Yes, I would think that some of the flavor of what he said would apply to your response to that general type of idea. Um, there are, of course, a number of people who do feel that Dr. Jones perhaps is, living in an earlier age rather than changing to meet the times today. But do you know anything about his relationship with the development of other educational institutions other than what you have said relative to his association with Utica and your having attended this meeting?
Well, I have read some works about Dr. Jones, but I don't really recall his work with other institutions. It seems to me in reading his work, he did come to Mississippi from somewhere in the, I guess you said the Midwest.
Yes.
And Iowa, I believe it was. And I'm not really familiar with really the influences he may have had on other institutions before or after he came to Mississippi, really. So I really could not
You don't
speak about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Mr. Kinnard, are there any other types of points that you would like to make about Piney Woods that is significant in black educational development in Mississippi?
Well, I think Dr. Jones came to Mississippi and established Piney Woods at a time when certainly there was a definite need for someone to encourage blacks to do something for themselves. And Dr. Jones is a living example, just as several other noted pioneers in black education in Mississippi is. He came to Mississippi and eventually ended Piney Woods, and I think he did a great job because Piney Woods students are all over. I happen to know Miss Betty Mae Jack, who I believe is over in Scott County now and is a product of Piney Woods, and I've already mentioned the fact that you have gone places after having been a product of Piney Woods. So I do feel that Piney Woods has served a purpose in the state of Mississippi. And of course, I've known Dr. Jones for a number of years, not so much personally, but I have met him and I've talked with him, and I think he's a very fine man. And I don't think that, in fact, I better say this, that it perhaps takes a special type of person to found and maintain a school of the stature of Piney Woods as long as Piney Woods has been in existence. So I would say that Piney Woods has served its purpose in the field of education, black education in the state of Mississippi. And with this, I would like to thank you for having me to say a few words about Piney Woods. And I hope that your report, your project is successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kinnard.